ahead here. Community policing taking center stage at the Democratic National Convention. We're going to look at the women speaking in Philadelphia tonight, coming up next here on News 8 at 5:30.
At 6, caught on camera, tense moments as police confront armed men in Manchester, what the men say they were doing, and the debate that's now growing out of this. The exclusive story coming up.
Firefighters are back at the scene of this brush fire, but if this was yesterday, we wouldn't be able to be standing right here. We'll let you know what they want people to do to make sure brush fires like this don't happen. That's coming up.
And a shoreline city helping drivers find parking spaces through technology. That and more tonight on News 8 at 6.
It's day 2 of the Democratic National Convention, and the issue of gun control and police-related deaths are coming to the forefront. This evening, mothers who have lost children because of a police officer shooting them or while in police custody will talk. ABC's Kenneth Moten reports from Philadelphia.
In this national climate of rising tensions,
no justice, no peace.
Between communities of color and police, the Democratic National Convention will put the mothers of the movement front and center.
Unless you have lost a child, you don't know this side.
Right.
7 mothers united in grief over the killings of their children, mostly black men, by police and gun violence. They're looking for change and denouncing the recent attacks on law enforcement.
This is a bad time to be a good cop in this country.
Yes, it is.
Okay? We need to remember they have lives too.
But the Philadelphia Fraternal Order of Police called the DNC invite to the mothers an insult, and the families of slain officers should have been included. The Hillary Clinton campaign has invited law enforcement voices like former Philadelphia Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey. The head of President Obama's Community Policing Task Force spoke with CNN.
And whether it's Mr. Trump or whether it's Secretary Clinton, someone's going to have to address the issue of crime and violence in our communities, and the best way is to be able to deal with it.
Ramsey's successor pointed out his department's model for community policing is under a global spotlight as officers handle dozens of DNC protests.
We're experiencing a paradigm shift in law enforcement right now. Some may have to be dragged along, but for those of us who are progressives, we understand that we're going to do that.
Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Philadelphia.
Live, News 8 at 6 starts now.
There's a desire here to exercise their rights in such a way that they're likely to come to the attention of police, and they're doing it in a manner that is dangerous.
A News 8 exclusive, police disarmed 2 men outside a McDonald's restaurant. It's all seen on police dash cam. Was it exercising Second Amendment rights or foolishly pushing the envelope? You decide.
Breaking news out of Bridgeport after a device containing radioactive material is stolen and found. The latest from police.
Hot summer temperatures making it dangerous and difficult job even tougher. We spoke with the folks who are tackling this extreme heat.
We begin with that News 8 exclusive story concerning open carry laws. 2 men carrying guns standing outside a McDonald's causing panic in Manchester. Good evening, I'm Ann Nyberg.
And I'm Scott McDonald. But even though it sparked some to call 911, the men were breaking no laws. Chief political correspondent Mark Davis spoke with one of the men carrying the guns and the local police chief about this incident, which was captured on a police dash cam. He has the exclusive story tonight.
Police car dash cam video shows that when the Manchester police arrived at the McDonald's, they found 3 men, 2 carrying guns. Police ordered the men to get on the ground face down. While one officer aimed his handgun at the men, another removed their weapons and camera phones as one of them protested that no laws had been broken. The men say they were detained for an hour while police determined they were all lawful gun owners. You may recognize one of the men as Michael Picard of East Hartford, who was involved in a similar incident in West Hartford back in September. Earlier this month, all charges were dropped in that incident. In this most recent incident, Picard and the other men say they were threatened with charges, but none were ever made. Picard says Manchester police overreacted.
What we're doing is a right, and all we're trying to do is exercise our rights and encourage other people to exercise our rights as well.
Manchester Police Chief Mark Montminy doesn't dispute the facts of the incident and defends his police officers.
There's a desire here to exercise their rights in such a way that they're likely to come to the attention of police, and they're doing it in a manner that is dangerous. I mean, police have an obligation to defend the community and, as we've seen recently, to defend themselves.
The chief also says Picard and his friends are pushing the envelope placing cops between a rock and a hard place. During this year's General Assembly session, a proposal advocated by the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association would have required gun owners to show their gun permit when requested. It never came up for a vote. In Manchester, Mark Davis, News 8.
Updating breaking news we first told you about on News 8 at 5 o'clock. Investigators have found equipment containing radioactive material stolen from a vehicle in Bridgeport.
It was located at a pawn shop in Bridgeport. Investigators tell us the suspect, Carlos Hernandez of Bridgeport, was arrested as he was leaving the pawn shop. The Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection has to come take a look to make sure nobody tampered with the device. It belongs to Hacks Material Testing Group. It was stolen from an employee's car early this morning. The gauge measures ground density and contains a small amount of radioactive material. It could have posed a threat if anybody tampered with it. A number of agencies, including Homeland Security and the FBI, are investigating.
All right, let's take you outside tonight with a live look in Middletown. Looks pretty nice there. Temperatures again in the 90s. A heat wave inland for Connecticut 6 days straight. Let's get you right over to Storm Team 8 senior meteorologist Fred Campagna. Quite the stretch here, Fred.
Yeah, and rolling right along through the midweek today. Also a hot one near the shoreline. New London right now is 92 degrees, so a good day to get out there on the water. That wind out of the north at 12 miles per hour. So New London now tying the highest temperature so far this year that they have seen. Upper 80s along the shoreline in other spots. Still some low 90s up in Hartford County. 6 straight days of 90-plus weather, and tomorrow will be another one inland where it makes it into the 90s. Likely won't reach 90 degrees, though, at the shoreline because we'll have a southwesterly wind. Quiet weather in the forecast for this evening. Temperatures settling back through the 80s into the 70s and eventually reaching the mid to upper 60s by dawn tomorrow. Then a quick warm up with a lot of sunshine. You can see that temperature by noontime already in the mid to upper 80s inland. If you are heading out this evening, expect clear skies. Sunsets at 8:14, upper 70s by 9 o'clock, and then mid 70s by 11 o'clock this evening. Tomorrow, a day without a lot of humidity. The 90-plus heat lasts through Thursday. Then the heat wave finally comes to an end with some rain in the forecast. We'll talk all about that coming up in the 8-day in a few minutes.
Get to download the Storm Team 8 app for the forecast anytime.
And even with the rain that we got yesterday, the danger level for forest fires still high. The Department of Energy and Environmental Protection asking those enjoying state parks and forests to use caution if barbecuing or using a fire while out camping. Firefighters battling brush fires not only have to deal with these hot temps, but also the heat from the fire. News 8's Tina Detel spoke with fire crews today about how they prepare to tackle this extreme heat.
Firefighters are back at the scene of this brush fire, which they tackled just yesterday. Now they are looking at hot spots today and trying to put them out. You can see the smoke there. Down below, there is fire. Now I'm told if I walked in this field, there are some spots which could melt my boots.
It was actually very intense with the wind and the heat and with all the smoke.
All Lieutenant Brian Pepin could see was a wall of fire coming right at them.
We had about 6 to 7 foot flames coming up.
Not only does the fire put these firefighters in danger, but so does the extreme heat.
We definitely don't wear bunker jackets with this heat. You'll definitely get overwhelmed, and we don't want anybody to go down with heat exhaustion.
Firefighters in Ledyard and these fighting a brush fire in North Haven Monday do what they can to stay cool. Short and long sleeve t-shirts become the new uniform, and if the smoke and flames are aggressive, head and eye protection are a must. They also have lots of water and lots of manpower for relief.
People came out and then in, out, in, out, in.
Tyler Hall's family owns the Ledyard land where up to 5 acres burned Monday. They appreciate the firefighters' efforts.
You're gonna draft out of it with 22? Yeah, we'll just set it up like that.
Firefighters would appreciate people being extra vigilant not to start these fires.
You know, if you do have a campfire at home, make sure it's absolutely completely extinguished before going to bed.
Also, keep the perimeter of your campfire clear.
Everything is dry, and even the stuff that's green is burning. You
can still see some smoke coming out of the ground right here. Now, this is an area that was hot where they already wet down. So as you can see, hot spots can pop up again, and that's why they're going to be out here until they're all out. In Ledyard, Tina Detel, News 8.
Vote 2016. Right now, the roll call at the Democratic National Convention is underway. A live look at the Wells Fargo Center, where each state is announcing its committed delegates. When the numbers are added up, Hillary Clinton will be the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party. The historic vote would make Hillary Clinton the first woman on a presidential ticket, something her husband will most likely talk about in his keynote speech this evening. He's not the only president talking this evening. Jimmy Carter will address the delegates by video. Hollywood will be represented as well, with Meryl Streep, and Alicia Keys will be speaking as well. Don't forget to download the News 8 app. Continuing coverage of the Democratic National Convention, we are streaming it live, WTNH.com, and of course a full recap tonight at 11.
ABC's World News Tonight with David Muir will be live in Philadelphia tonight. That's 6:30, following News 8 at 6.
The gift of hearing for a West Haven grandmother. We talk with her the emotional moment she received her new hearing aids.
Plus, a brand new app to make it easier for you to park in one shoreline city.
And how one woman is taking money out of her own pocket to thank Merredin's finest. Parking in downtown New Haven can be a bit of a nightmare sometimes, but now there's an app for that. The new parking app is going to make it easier for you to pay for parking, as well as keeping you from making any parking violations that might have been seen on a sign. The new Go New Haven app, launched just this afternoon, also lets you extend your parking session for free and get your parking validated.
Instead of the traditional sense of pulling a ticket in a garage and getting it stamped, you can get a code for shopping or dining somewhere here in New Haven, and that will subsidize some if not all, of your parking fees for parking downtown.
This is the second parking app for the city, which makes New Haven the first in the nation to have parallel apps to compete for business.
And an update now on the story of a grandmother in need of a hearing aid. We brought you this story yesterday at 6. 91-year-old Loretta Dianello was in need of a hearing aid that cost thousands of dollars, something insurance was not going to cover. So her granddaughter wrote a letter to the Belton Hearing Care Foundation, a nonprofit that donates them. They agreed to give her 2 free hearing aids, and she got them today.
I can hear you very well. Yes, you're very clear. And I'm happy because of that. And I'm happy because my granddaughter. I am grateful to all the Belton and these young ladies that helped me.
Wow, truly grateful. She says now she can listen and talk to her neighbors that she sees instead of just waving to them. To see this entire story, you can download the free News 8 app and catch it there.
Congratulations to her. What a great granddaughter.
Yeah.
Up next, how one woman is reaching out to police officers in Connecticut.
They have a job to do, just like anyone else has a job to do. Everybody's lives matter.
We'll talk with her about her mission to build bridges with local law enforcement.
And it's not just hot inland today, it's hot near the shoreline. 89 right now in Stratford because of this land breeze. Northwest at about 12 miles per hour. Let's take a live look now from Long Wharf in New Haven. Love that blue sky out there. Another hot one tomorrow. I'll let you know how long the inland heat wave will last for coming up.
Plus, teeing off in 2016, is the game of golf dying or thriving? A closer look coming up tonight at 11 on News 8.
Taking out the trash could cost the state millions if we don't start doing more recycling. A new report out by Connecticut Department of Energy and Environmental Protection says the state could shell out $25 million every year to ship our waste to landfills in other states by the year 2024. DEEP says we need to strengthen our recycling programs to stabilize the cost. Right now, the state recycles about 35% or so of the roughly 3 million tons of trash that we make every year.
Serving the men and women who serve and protect, a food truck owner is supporting Merredin's finest, one meal at a time. News 8's Stephanie Simone got in the kitchen with this woman who's driving the mission.
Cooking for cops. That's the mission in front of Tampa's food truck.
Chicken and waffles are big here.
Tampa is the name of Tammy Jordan's dad.
My father he fed everyone.
She's continuing that tradition here at the Merredin Police Department. You see, she has friends on the force.
It's looking good.
And it's her way of saying thank you after officers were killed in Dallas and Baton Rouge.
They have a job to do, just like anyone else has a job to do. Everybody's lives matter.
It's kind of a tough time for policing now, and it's just a testament to their support for everything we do for the community.
She estimates it's about a $600 donation, but it's worth it with each smile she sees digging into her breakfast sandwiches and her famous chicken and waffles.
What do you think makes your chicken and waffles special?
My 5 spices.
Can you tell me?
No. It's a secret.
That might be a secret, but she's open with her appreciation for officers dishing out this feast of gratitude.
We just wanted to show them that we appreciate them.
It's delicious food, so we're lucky to have it here today.
And there's a lot more cooking to do. She plans on serving dinner until 8 o'clock tonight. Tammy, are you ready?
I sure am.
In Meriden, Stephanie Simone, News 8.
How cute is she?
Yeah, it's some home
And I wouldn't
cooking.
tell either the 5 spices.
No?
Keep it
Can't
to
give up
yourself.
that recipe, you know.
Nope, you can't.
All right, Fred, where are we standing here? Day 6.
Day 6, yeah,
Okay.
and counting. This heat wave will go on for a couple more days. Let's check things out here. We'll start with the high temperatures today, which made it to 90 in many spots. 92 Bridgeport and New London, and 92 for Windsor Locks and 94 for Hartford. This is an inland heat wave, primarily in Hartford County, and these are the longest heat waves on record at Windsor Locks. 10 days back in 1995 from July to early August. A couple of 9-day heat waves, August 2002 and back in August and September of 73, and there have been 5 8-day heat waves, and that's likely where this heat wave that's currently at 6 days will end on Thursday. 90 right now for Manchester, lots of upper 80s to low 90s showing up at the shoreline too. Pawcatuck right now is 91 degrees. It's in the 80s up in Killingly. Blue sky, just a couple of puffy clouds here and there. Those clouds will be dissipating this evening and we'll have clear skies overnight. The dew point has been falling. That means it's been getting less humid during the day today. And tomorrow, although a hot one inland, will not be particularly humid. The high temperature at the shoreline tomorrow in the mid to upper 80s. Inland, though, you're back up over 90 degrees. And it looks like Thursday will be rather hot inland, 95 plus likely in Hartford County. So beautiful weather on Wednesday. On Thursday, partly cloudy skies, maybe a touch more humid by late in the day on Thursday. High of about 95 to 98 inland and right around 90 degrees at the shoreline. Here's the storm system we're tracking for Friday, and it looks like it's going to bring us at least some showers with the possibility of seeing a soaking rain, and the best chance of that happening would be Friday evening. It'll likely be out of the picture, though, by early Saturday. Saturday, a break in the action for us. We'll get back to partly cloudy, warm and humid conditions. On Sunday, though, a second storm has the potential to bring at least some clouds and a few showers our way, along with some cooler temperatures. Warm conditions this evening as the temperature only very slowly falls through the 80s and 70s, but by late at night, the temperature should get down to about 69 at the shoreline and around 65 or 66 inland. Quick warm up tomorrow with lots of sunshine. Shoreline up to about 88, inland 95. For a high tomorrow, west to southwesterly wind at 5 to 15 miles per hour. So at the beach tomorrow, expect to see a lot of sunshine. 81 in the morning, about 85 in the afternoon, only 15 minutes of safe sun time, and the water temperature along the shoreline is about 70 to 75 right now. Great day to be out on Long Island Sound, northwest to southwest wind at 5 to 10 knots, seas of only a foot or two. High tide late in the day, 4 o'clock in eastern Connecticut, about 6:15 at the western part of the shoreline. Here's your shoreline 8-day forecast. Back near 90 on Thursday, then considerably cooler on Friday's clouds roll in, showers, thunder possible late in the day and particularly Friday evening. About 83 for high on Friday, partly cloudy, 84 Saturday. Upper 70s to around 80 with more showers possible on Sunday. See the heat wave ending on Friday, a high of 84 degrees inland on Friday. Again, the chance for some steady rain Friday and then back to warm and humid conditions on Saturday.
84 seems so low when you're dealing with a high 90s.
Doesn't it, when you've had so many 90s.
Yeah. All right, thanks so much.
All right, time for sports. Here's John.
Live, this is Sports Edge, sponsored by your local Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Well, it's a big series for the New York Mets. Still a long way to go in the season, but right now the Amazons are jockeying for a wild card spot. St. Louis Cardinals in that bunch too, and they were rained out last night, so they're going to play 2 today. First one started a little after 4, and the Cards get off to a good start. Second inning, bases loaded. Their pitcher, Carlos Martinez, with a full swing, gets the job done, a 1-0 lead. Next inning, it's Jed Jericho with a 2-run poke. And the Cardinals have a 3-0 lead. But in the 4th, the Mets get a couple back on a Rene Rivera home run. Right now, in the 6th inning, the Mets are chasing a run 3-2. Team USA basketball opened its exhibition season last night with a close win over Team USA Select. Gino Auriemma's starting five included 4 of his former UConn Huskies. Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Tina Charles, and Sue Bird all started. That group was part of the starting 5 that won gold in London 4 years ago. Auriemma knows what he has in that group. After all, he recruited all of them out of high school. And back then, the Hall of Fame head coach knew they'd be good, but when they left Connecticut, at least 2 national championships, each of them, well, he had a feeling they'd going to be even better and maybe even dominate the world.
Every one of them, when they left here, I said, you know what's going to happen? They're going to do exactly in the WNBA and exactly at USA Basketball what they just did in college. Because guess what? It's against the same people. So if they keep working at it, they're going to dominate the WNBA exactly like they dominated college. And they have. And on the national scene, one carries over into the other.
Auriemma calls Team USA UConn on steroids, and you can see them at Webster Bank Arena in Bridgeport Friday night when they take on Team Canada. Going to take a quick break. When we come back, remember Jack Cochran? Well, he's coaching a different kind of team these days, and we'll tell you all about that in a few minutes. He is one of Connecticut's most successful high school football coaches. Jack Cochran hasn't been on the sideline, though, in years. People either loved him or hated him when he coached. Well, these days, Cochran is still in charge of a team. No quarterbacks, running backs, or linebackers in this group. Cochran is approaching his 1-year anniversary as a restaurant owner. About a year ago, he bought the Recovery Room in New London. In this business, it's important to be a good leader and be liked. So far, Cochran enjoying his purchase.
Honestly, I started eating here about a year and a half ago. I grew up just a couple blocks down the road. I loved the food. I got to know the cooks, and I heard it was up for sale. And one day I walked in and made an offer, and the rest is history. It definitely paid off all the hours I put in, not only as a coach but a teacher. It's just being able to, motivate and get people to do really what they don't want to do, to achieve, something for the common goal.
Cochran hasn't ruled out a return to coaching one day. After all, that is his passion, but he's got his hands full. From what I hear, the restaurant is pretty good, too. It's won a lot of awards over the years.
Oh, okay. Alrighty then. Thanks so much. All right, Fred.
Heat wave rolls on for a couple more days inland, probably ending at 8, though. On Friday, some clouds moving in and rain is possible Friday evening and Friday night. Should be out of the picture, though, by Saturday as we focus in on the weekend forecast. Saturday, about 84 at the shoreline, maybe 87 or 88 degrees inland with a blend of clouds and sunshine. Another storm system nearby on Sunday. Definitely cooler. High temperatures upper 70s to low 80s for us on Sunday with the chance of some rain coming through. I would not call Sunday a washout at this point, but it's something we'll be keeping a close eye on over the next couple of days. If you're looking ahead to early next week, looks like the weather will be pretty quiet and seasonable. So that means probably not too much 90-degree heat, more like mid-80s.
All right, thanks so much.
That's good. There's going to be some pretty high electric bills out there with everybody running the AC during this heat wave. Hey, that's our time for News 8 at 6. Here's what we're working on tonight. On News 8 at 10 and 11, we'll have the latest on this investigation into a radioactive device stolen from a vehicle in Bridgeport. It was later found at a pawn shop. We're speaking with police about that case. That's tonight on News 8 at 10 and 11.
You can get the latest news, weather, and traffic online anytime, WTNH.com. We'll see you later. Good night.
When you see it happen, report it. Send your news, pictures, and videos to News 8 at reportit@WTNH.com.